Hello, I'm West Virginia Secretary of State Mac Warner, and I'd like to thank the West Virginia Women's Commission, the sponsors of today's event, and everyone who's associated with the Women and Girls Day at the legislature. Last year, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment. That is the amendment that recognized the women's right to vote. This year, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the 26th Amendment. That is the amendment that lowered the voting age from 21 to 18. Now, what many people don't recognize is that West Virginia played the critical role in the passage of the 26th Amendment. In 1942, when West Virginia Congressman Jennings Randolph was serving in the U.S. House of Representatives, our country was at war. As the need for more soldiers grew, President Franklin Roosevelt issued an executive order reducing the military draft age from 21 to 18. At that time, West Virginia Congressman Randolph said, "If you're old enough to fight and give your life for your country, then you're old enough to vote." So in 1943, he sponsored legislation to create the 26th Amendment to our Constitution, lowering the voting age to 18. While the amendment wouldn't pass immediately, Randolph never gave up the fight. It would take 29 more years for his amendment to pass. On March 23, 1971, during the height of the Vietnam War, now Senator Randolph again pushed the legislation, and Congress finally passed the 26th Amendment. The legislation was then sent to the states for ratification. West Virginia proudly became one of the first states to ratify the amendment on April 28, 1971, and was quickly followed by state after state. On July 1, 1971, North Carolina became the 38th state to ratify the 26th Amendment, giving the required 3/4 needed for it to become law. Just 4 days later, on July 5th, President Richard Nixon signed the amendment into law. With the stroke of a pen, 11 million citizens were now made eligible to vote. Senator Randolph had the honor of selecting the first 18-year-old to register, Ella Mae Thompson Haddix, a student at Davis and Elkins College, whose brother had been killed in Vietnam, never having had the chance to vote. West Virginia has been the shining example of the 26th Amendment in action. For example, in 2014, Sarah Blair of Berkeley County became the youngest state legislator ever elected in the history of the United States at the age of 18. And in 2018, Caleb Hanna became the youngest Black American ever elected to any state legislature in the history of our country, and he did so at the age of 19. Over the last 4 years, we've registered tens of thousands of 18 to 20-year-olds to vote, an incredible number given the size of West Virginia, and we've encouraged young adults to get involved. Today, there are many young people in the West Virginia legislature leading our state into the future. I want to ask each of you to join in the celebration of the 26th Amendment throughout this year. I challenge you to host a voter registration drive in your community or in your school. In West Virginia, high schools that register at least 85% of their eligible seniors to vote are recognized for their efforts and given the Jennings Randolph Award. For more information on the West Virginia Secretary of State's office celebration of the 50th anniversary of the 26th Amendment, visit our Facebook page or our website at wvsos.gov. That's wvsos.gov. Thank you.